to Raid Lore Stories. Today we're going to be checking the lore story for Blizaar the Howler. He is the brand new fusion, fragment fusion, mixed fusion, whatever you want to call it, for 2023. He's the holiday Christmas champ. What do you guys think about this? I mean, he's very holiday-like. He does have a wreath here with skulls on it. Doesn't really strike me as very Christmassy, but that's okay. I'd love to know what you guys think. We're going to check out his lore story and see if they explain all this. Let's check it out together. Blizaar the Howler is a beast created out of loss and bitterness, so it is fitting that he's associated with the darkest days of winter's depths. The Ice Crushers are an Ogren tribe living high in the Red Spike Mountains. For centuries, they conducted a midwinter festival that involved the lighting of fires, the giving of gifts, and the cooking of a great feast. Yet one of their number, a young Ogren named Grunch, never partook in the festive spirit, and after ruining the great feast one year, he was banished. He took to a life of crime and betrayal as he hired out his services as a thief throughout the kingdom of Frostheim. One of his employers was a dark elf sorceress named Lyrax. She herself had been banished from among her kind, forced to leave Durham Forest after the elemental magic she practiced brought out a punishing early winter. While traveling the Red Spike, she encountered Grunch. Thinking he would be perfect as a dumb, brutish assistant, she took him on as her servant. But while Grunch served Lyrax well-intentionally, in truth he was never the simple Ogren Lyrax thought he was. Grunch merely acted the dumb ally until he had an opportunity to steal a number of Lyrax's valuable arcane scrolls. The dark elf flew in a wild fit of rage, furious at having been misled by what she considered to be an inferior being, and swore she would hunt down and punish Grunch. She realized she knew little of the Ogren, for Grunch had concealed much of his past, but she had at least ascertained his tribe of origin, the Ice Crushers. Lyrax stepped out onto the mountainside close to her lair, disdaining the icy blizzard filling the air that night. Using all of her cryomantic abilities, she crafted a golem-like being of snow and ice, each delicate movement of her long pale fingers singing the rhyme. She created a beast akin to an Ogren, but bulkier, with a gaping maw filled with ice fangs. She used the howling wind to give it breath and gave it a heart made from the black stone of the mountain. Lastly, Lyrax created a jagged ice axe for the brute to wield. Thus was born the great Snowgren, Blizaar the Howler. The Dark Elf imbued Blizaar with the cruelty and love of violence so many Dark Elves possessed, before giving a simple and singular purpose. He was to hunt down and destroy Grunch, and he was to start his search among the Ice Crushers. Blizaar advanced into the storm, the shifting snow he lumbered through, drawn by his arcane connection to the elements to add itself to his bulk and strength. Lyrax had created a powerful being, but in her haste and anger, she had failed to kindle enough intelligence in the Snowgren's mind. The beast had only a dim understanding of its instructions and quickly confused the Grunch for the Ice Crushers as a whole. He arrived among the tribe not long after Grunch himself had taken his revenge on them, stealing that season's feast and gifts before disappearing. The luckless Ice Crushers were just coming to terms with the theft when Blizaar the Howler descended on them like an avalanche. The Snowgren tore through the tribe with pure elemental fury, wrecking homestead stores and hacking down any who got in his path. The Ice Crusher's attempt to halt the beast failed. Whenever Blizaar's body was wounded, the surrounding snow and ice regenerated him. The Ice Crushers were devastated. Only when their village was in ruins did Blizaar depart, returning to Lyrax. When she saw him, he was draped in bells, antlers, wreaths, bones, and skulls, a combination of grisly trophies as well as decorations that had wrapped around him on his rampage. He even carried a door resembling a shield. From the blood staining his snow form and from the crackling, splitting sounds that sounded like sick laughter, the Dark Elf assumed he had been successful. Concerned that vengeance had been taken, she sought to unbind the golem, first relinquishing control of him to ensure any harm he suffered was not transferred to her, then opening the clouds overhead, causing sunlight to appear down upon Blizaar in the belief that he would melt in it. Blizaar howled in pain, but to Lyrax's horror, the light was not enough to dissolve his form. Her will, while she had created Blizaar, had been too cold, too bitter, and it continued to animate the Snowgren in defiance of the sun's heat. Realizing his creator was seeking to destroy him, Blizaar snatched Lyrax and plunged his razor-iced teeth into her neck and shoulder, the crushing bite ripping her apart. He then ate her flesh, which froze within his grave-cold form. Freed from Lyrax's bindings, the Snowgren then stood out across Frostheim. The devastation he wreaked on the Ice Crushers brought him great joy and satisfaction. He sought to repeat the destruction on an ever greater scale, descending on towns and settlements like the wrath of the harshest Frostheim winter made manifest. Wow, guys. Okay, so there's a lot in this. I didn't really think this was going to be some kind of Christmas horror show here, but it kind of was. Not to mention, listen, they call this Ogre the Grunch. Okay, so that's one. We talk about the Grinch here. Two, did anyone else get Elsa from Frozen 1 vibes from Lyrax, which she talks about? She was punished for elemental magic brought on by bringing on early winter. Well, she did in Frozen 1. She ran away. She created this magic castle out of ice and created this magic snow golem. So basically, Lyrax was Elsa from Frozen 1, which was interesting. Nightmare Before Christmas vibes. Yeah, they definitely did kind of like a mishmash of all kinds of things here. But guys, I'd love to know what you think for the story for Blizaar, and thanks for watching.